On this next one, neither one of these polynomials is factored. I have two polynomials and neither of them are in factored form, so we need to factor both. We'll use Xbox to factor, and I will do the top one, come down here and do that in pink. My X puzzle will be -3 and adding to -2. So I want to think of factors of -3 that add to -2. Well, I only have two things that will multiply to be 3. That is a 1 and -3. That's the only pair of factors. And so those better work, and sure enough they do. So 1 plus -3 is -2. So I can say 1 and -3. And then my box will be x squared and -3. And then I want a 1x and a -3x. Doing GCF across the top row is an x, and across the second row is a 1. Down the first column is an x, and down the second column is a -3. Remembering again, the negative sign here requires us to put a negative sign here. Also remember that it doesn't matter which spot that you put these two factors in, you're going to end up with the same factors either way. Let's go ahead and rewrite that as x minus 3 and x plus 1. Now, that tells me the top, but I still need the bottom one. Let's come down here and do this one in green. And in fact, I'd like for you to pause the video and do this one on your own, and then come back here and we'll wrap up the rest of simplifying this rational expression. All right, the top of your X puzzle should be a -21. Remember, it's A times C, and then we need to add to 4 our B value. If you make a T chart, you should come up with factors of 7 and -3, which go in the diagonal spots here, and you'll come up with factors of x plus 7 and x minus 3 once you find your greatest common factors. So let's take all of this information and put it back together. So remember that my top polynomial was written in pink, and my factored version of that is here, so I'm going to bring that down here. X minus 3 times x plus 1. And then in the bottom, I'm going to have what I just did in green for the bottom one, which is x plus 7 and x minus 3. Now I notice that the top and the bottom both have an x minus 3, so those will cancel, and my simplified form will be x plus 1 over x plus 7. And now I simply need to check my restrictions. I crossed out x minus 3, so that means that x minus 3 cannot equal 0. Let's add 3 to both sides to solve for x, and that means that x cannot equal 3. And that is the rest of my answer. Remember, restrictions are part of your answer here.